All right, so what's going on, everybody? This is your man Todd from FaceTime with Todd Wharton, and right now I'm in New York City in Soho, and we're at the Dopl store here. If you guys recognize the Dopl store, this was created by Brian Henson, who's son of the legendary Jim Henson. Now we're here for the Justice for Hire event. It's a brand new app. It's pretty much the first ever filmmaking studio app where you can create your own content, you can become a superhero in your own cinematic world, and it's brought to you by ReelwUrld. Well, instead of hearing it from me, let's go inside right now and learn about this amazing app from the people that created it. All right, guys, so we're back, and I have the pleasure of interviewing Autumn. Now, Autumn is the co-founder of ReelwUrld. How you doing?
Doing really good. How are you?
I'm good. What do you think about the turnout and just the energy going on here right now?
It's a fantastic turnout. We have all of our really core cast here. Some of them have already received their figures and a bunch other getting their figures, and it's just a really exciting moment in ReelwUrld's history so far, because what these characters represent is the alter ego of the characters that our cast members have created for themselves in our show. So it's a really big deal.
Now here's the really, really cool part. You had a Hollywood actress, Angelica Saba, show up here, who's known for Law & Order, a lot of other great shows, and she's now created a character on your platform. How does that feel to know that an actress who's in Hollywood, who does characters for a living, but now she's creating her own character on your platform? How does that feel?
Yeah, so the spirit of ReelwUrld and Justice for Hire is for our cast members to treat their characters with the same reverence of Hollywood studios. And so to bring someone like Angelique here alongside of our cast members who maybe don't have any professional acting experience is exactly the kind of energy we want for our platform and future shows as well.
Yeah, and I was talking to Jen about that. I'm like, can you imagine if you have a real Marvel member come through and join your cast? And it just shows that there is great talent everywhere. And that's another thing I don't know if you guys really figured out. You're bringing out a lot of talent that may not be seen by an agent, by a manager, or anybody, and you never know when your platform can actually be one of those platforms that artists can get seen and heard and possibly get picked up. You guys thought about that as well?
Yeah, I think like everyone's story is the greatest story ever told. Like we want people to be able to create and tell their own stories and really treat themselves the way that they feel when they look up at the screen at a Marvel superhero like Captain America. You should feel that same pride and positivity about yourself. Yeah. And so when people are creating their own characters, they're building a narrative for themselves to be the best version of themselves. And that's really the goal.
And you know what the best part about it is? With all the controversy going on in the world right now, with bullying and people being treated different for who they are or who they aren't, this platform here really gives somebody that ego of confidence that they are somebody. How do you think about that you created a world that can make somebody feel better about themselves?
I think any great community does that, and at the core, that's what we're building, a community that's devoted to helping each other, to making the world a better place, and that's within the Justice for Hire storyline of being able to hire a hero or help someone else. And so that is at its core the whole idea of the show and the spirit of ReelwUrld.
Well, guys, that's great to hear. And let me tell you something. We are right now at the Justice for Hire event here at the Dopl store in Soho in New York City. And guys, definitely go check this app out, because I guarantee you got to find a community that you really go to like to join. All right, so we are back, and I'm with my man Vintage, which is a really cool name, because vintage pretty much means celebrating the old school, whether it's in your clothes or anything else. But you bring out the new school by bringing a lot of people together. But before we get to that, you're one of the foundational heroes on Justice for Hire. Tell me about that, man.
Yeah, I saw them a while back on Meetup.com. And I was like, whoa, this is a really interesting concept of decentralization before it even had this whole wave. Yeah. But essentially, Justice for Hire, it portrayed this message of we're the heroes, not just some person that a group of people decided on. No, we're heroes, And so I thought that was really cool and a very evolutionary thing that was happening. And so I started going to the meetups and just to dive into this multifaceted universe and started exploring it and even helped co-create it in some sense. So, yeah.
No, I love it. So not only is Justice for Hire where you can create your own superhero, client, whatever, it also offers you opportunities to meet up with the actual cast and crew and you get to know real people. I mean, can you imagine if Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and all these great guys had their own superhero group that you can create on Justice for Hire? I think that's kind of like what you're looking to, because me and you were talking off camera, and your goal right now is to, bring life into this world by meaning that bring people together. Is that the concept of what I'm getting at from your persona right now?
100%, 100%. I think the roots of every problem is disconnection. Once we have connection, like a full, thriving connection, then any problem can be solved with communication, and maybe a little bit of compromise and different things like that, but connection is the root of it, so.
I love it, man. And we're going to end on that. And I'm here with my man Vintage because he said it, connection is the root of all happiness in the world. This is Todd from FaceTime with Todd Wharton here at the Justice for Hire event. All right, so we're here at the Dopl store, and I'm talking with the brand coordinator, Dalia. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm great. I got to tell you something. This is a great event that Justice for Hire has brought into the store. But let's talk about Dopl, because Dopl has a lot of amazing things that's going on here right now. I mean, the figures are off the charts. Tell me about the concept and how you guys came about all this creation of these action figures.
So basically, the way that our 3D figures work is you come into the store, you go into our scanner over there, and you get your picture taken in a split second by 87 different cameras. So from that, you are creating a 3D image that gets rendered, that goes through our software, that then can be 3D printed to end up with the finished product, like behind over here are miniatures, and they come in all different sizes. You can get one that's 4 inches, you can get one that's 14 inches. You can get them scaled. There's a lot of different things. People come in with costumes, people come in their graduation outfits. It's really just a very cool concept and a way to completely immortalize however you look at that moment. And based on our technology, like, we create the most accurate scans possible. So they really, really are lifelike figures. Even in ads, they've been used as lifelike stand-ins. Some really cool art that's been made with our figures in kind of scaling-wise, showing how big a trumpet looks next to one of these figures, but making it look like a real person. So it really involves a lot of creativity, a lot of really cool technology, and a lot of cool personality.
Yeah. And I love the fact that this store, one of the co-founders, co-partners you want to say, is Brian Henson, who's the son of Jim Henson, who obviously everybody knows created the Muppets. But Mike, who is actually head of operations, they work together. Now, how's the camaraderie between the corporations together to create something amazing here right now?
Yeah, I think it's really just, we want to create memories for everyone. And so by having our stores open like this, where you can come in and you can hang out, like, Brian's a really big proponent of, creating this memory. Yeah. And we want people to remember not just what their figurine looks like, but their experience when they come into the store, how cool these scanners are, the technology, and really take something permanent from this experience and have it forever. I would say, like, it's very, very cool to work with someone like Brian, who has this crazy Muppets background, and like, when it comes to our store currently, we've been chatting with him about our our incoming store in LA, which is opening in Century City, and so there's going to be a lot of really cool LA themed stuff there. And yeah, I think that it's a really cool partnership, and it's really cool to be able to have opportunities to work with a bunch of different people on their events and creating new action figures.
Yeah, and I love it. Now, this store right now is in Soho, here in New York. Now, can they do a walk-in and come in here, or do they have to create an appointment online? How does that work if people are really curious about doing this?
So we typically recommend making an appointment, but if you find yourself in Soho and you're like, oh, well, I think Dopl's around the corner, I'd love to stop by, for the most part, we do take walk-ins unless it's a crazy busy day. So if it's something that you think that you really want to do, I recommend making an appointment. But if you kind of happen upon us, walk-ins are welcome.
Now, I have to ask, I know I call these action figures, but they're actually 3D miniatures. And I think my family and my fans would love to see an action figure of me, if that's possible.
Yeah, totally. We can take you to the scanner in the back and get that all set up for you. And you can, in about 3 weeks, have your own 3D scanned miniature.
Oh, man, I'm excited. So, guys, why don't you follow me, and we're going to get a 3D miniature of your man FaceTime with Todd Wharton. All right, guys, so I'm here in the tube in the transformation chamber. I'm about to get my picture from my 3D animation figure, and I'm going to call myself the manipulator, because you know why? Because I convince anybody to tell me everything that's going on in their head. So the great thing about New York City, you never know who you run into. This is a Hollywood actress, Angelica Saba. Now, if you guys don't know, she's from Precious, Bushwick, Gossip Girl, and so much more. How you doing today?
Fantastic. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good. So what made you decide to come to this event right here in Soho today?
Well, my friend Janlucanis, he has a series, a comic book, and an app called Justice for Hire. And he asked me to be his Louisa. And a few weeks ago, I came in to get scanned and be made into this action figure. So I'm super excited to come and open the action figure. So that's why I'm here, in support of Justice for Hire.
So you were going to be one of the heroes in Justice for Hire. So now you go from the real world to the real world for Justice of Hire, which is really cool. And I love this concept because even though you play characters in real life as your job, there's nothing like going to an app and creating another character that's love to your heart, honestly, because sometimes it's a character building out for what you always wanted to be, but it's going to be online and you could be a superhero in your own way. How do you feel about that?
I mean, that's pretty much what I'm really excited about with the app. I'm a scripted character from the comic book that already exists. Yeah. But I really love the concept of what he's created. And it's really hard to explain sometimes because it's never been done. So you know, when everyone goes to Comic-Con and they create all these characters and they out of their own imagination, but now they can legitimize them in a way and kind of put them on the map in the interwebs. They create the character. Oh, is that a character right there? They create, look at that guy.
Oh, yeah.
Hi.
He has a spontaneous combustion.
You need to see him.
Superhero power. I think
Hi,
you brought us some...
but look how incredible. You see the imagination?
Yeah, this is Dave.
How are you?
Hey, Dave. What's the character's name?
Creator.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I love it.
How are you?
I'm fantastic now that I see you.
Yeah, his outfit is pretty crazy.
That's
you have
amazing.
An outfit like this?
No. Louise is a detective.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's like her badass attitude's kind of like the thing that brings her to life.
All right. So you like the next Quake of Marvel? Is that what we're hearing right here on?
Like that,
all right.
Yes. But this is exactly why I love the app, because you get to create your own superhero or already have it, and then now you can actually create your own figurine of your superhero here at Dopl. But I love Justice for Hire. It's Uber for superheroes. And everybody gets to post their reels. No. Exactly. Call the creator. Everyone gets to create their own superheroes and put them on the app. I hope people aren't calling them to save kittens and trees or solve crimes, because that's not what you're supposed to do in real life. But I think the concept is pretty incredible, to be able to immerse your character directly into a show, directly into a series, directly into a world. It's if you've created a superhero and you want to actually be a part of the Marvel universe. Yeah. You do it yourself through social media.
Oh, and I love it. And guys, take it from her and take it from everybody we talked to so far. This is a great app with great people coming together and not only becoming great characters, but actually doing meetups and learning what real people are all about. Because at the end of the day, I think every one of us has some sort of superhero inside us, and this app kind of brings it out. And right now I'm in Soho at the Dopl House with actress Angelica Saba right here in New York City. So I'm here with Andrea. Now, Andrea is the CTO of ReelwUrld. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
thank you for being here.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me. And this is an amazing event. This is the Justice for Hire event. So let's talk about the tech side behind ReelwUrld. How did you come up with this concept? And how did you come to this point today on the success that you're having so far?
So seeing how the market evolves and how technology just permeates every part of the industry was just like a no-brainer that Hollywood is the next big the next big segment of the market to be revolutionized by tech. So when I met Jen and I understood what he wants to do, it was like, okay, so we're making a movie about an app, but we're actually developing that app, and I have the privilege to build that app from scratch. So it's been an adventure, but it's really awesome. And I also get to have a character in that app. So it's
So what's your character?
I'm honestly still deciding between Andrea, the app developer, or Andrea being the actual app, because the app itself is a character in the series. Okay. If you get to see the first package that we had, the season 0, and then how the story evolves, the app itself, it's becoming a character. So Andrea is the app developer so far.
Okay, I have to ask, I know you're a tech person, but what's your superhero power? You can have a power, but you have to have a human power. What is that power that you offer to the world to save us?
I think that it's translating the knowledge into code. I mean, that's what coding is, so coding is my superpower.
Yeah, and you want to know something? I think that's a great, unique superpower, because I think 99% of the world can see code, they can look at code, but we don't get code at all, because we want it written in layman terms, like press here, click here. How, if you don't mind asking, how would you go about decrypting what a code is to like a 2-year-old, or me, I'm a 2-year-old. So tell me about that.
Well, I'll tell you how I got into coding, because I think that will explain. So I grew up in Romania. My grandfather was an accountant. So all I wanted to do was read and play. And he was having me help with the balance sheet. So there was this big amounts that I was supposed to add and calculate. And I was super bored. I mean, I loved math, obviously, but then I went and I visited my mom, and my mom was programming on punch cards. Back in the 80s, a software class was looking like this, like the punch cards. So I made a connection that if I learn to do what my mom does, I can do what my grandfather has me to do, but much faster. So just say that whatever can be repeated, you can code and have a computer do it by the press of a button, and you're practically creating time, because time is the only non-renewable resource. So all I wanted was to have more time to read and to play. I was a 4-year-old, so that's how I got into coding. So it's amazing how far it's gotten, and it's becoming, coding has now become like dancing. Like people now, I'm sure that the future generations will be like, do you know how to dance the tango? Do you know how to code in Java? It will be, it's the same. It's becoming a skill that everyone has in their toolbox, and it's less scary than it looks, because it's practically how you learn a foreign language. That's how you code.
Well, I have no idea what you're talking about. No.
Don't let me get into it, because I get very passionate, and I also teach people.
But that's the best part. You just said it. You're passionate, and that's what people want to hear. They want to learn from people that are passionate, and that's how they learn. But I was online, and I love the app. I love the concept. But I know there's been a little confusion amongst a lot of the viewers that want to get involved with this, where Justice for Hire is the actual app to go to, and ReelwUrld is the parent company of Justice for Hire. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. It's the studio behind the first social filmmaking studio, ReelwUrld. And JusticeForHire.app is the app where you create and experience the movie, the JFA series. So practically, you don't need a streaming service or go to the App Store to download the app. You just go to JusticeForHire.app, you join the cast, create your own character, add your own content by completing missions and challenges. that content gets used in the series, and that's on the same platform you experience watch the series. So it's all in one platform. You don't need streaming service or the App Store.
And thank you for explaining that to us. I think a lot of people are now going to be a little more comfortable, and I think they're definitely going to go to Justice for Hire app, and I think I'm going to go as well.
Well, I look forward to seeing your character.
First of all, congratulations on this amazing app. If you guys don't know, go to Justice for Hire. This is where you can create your superhero or client, but you are, and this is Andrea, who is the CTO of ReelwUrld. Right here on FaceTime with Todd Wharton in Soho at the Dopl store in New York City. All right, so we're back, and I'm here with an original superhero on the Justice for Hire app. This is David, but I found out that Dave is kind of shy, so this is the first shy superhero ever, which means when you guys have a problem, don't call him. I swear to God, he's not going to come through. He's going to be like, I can't do that. I can't. I got an image to uphold. I can't. I'm just playing, man. So Dave, tell me about this outfit, man. This is crazy. Who made this and who designed this, and where did you come up with the concept?
Well, it originally started back in 2020 before COVID started, and I came across Justice for Hire on TikTok. So I wrote them, because I go to conventions like Comic-Con and stuff. So they said, you could be a superhero, a villain, or a client. So I said, you know what, let me just be a superhero. So I wrote to them, and I said, I design costumes. I want to design a costume for the show. So it was like, just do whatever you can and send us what you got. So I went to drawing pads, and I just started researching comic books. But I also found out that this show, all the superheroes, they don't have superpowers. Right. So the catch was to design a costume that's not superpower based. So I looked up Batman, Daredevil, Kick-Ass, and then Robin, and I decided to design a costume that way. I just started going through my cosplay collections and stuff, and I just started going to the drawing board. Upside is I don't like drawing. So I literally went to the fabric store and Amazon and called a couple of my friends to help me design some stuff. And that's how it started. The suit actually was designed, the armor part. Yeah. This part was designed by my friend Chris. He designed it for me. We go to conventions together. So he actually came through. The shoes I got from Amazon, they light up.
All right, okay. Can see you coming from a mile away. All right.
Some knee pads and, just some foam. I've been going to conventions for about 10 years, give or take. So I actually have the basic knowledge of how to design my own super suits.
This is cool. So tell us what's your superhero name, man.
Oh, my superhero name is Creator. I don't know, it just stuck. Okay. And, that's how the name came up. Simplicity.
So if you were allowed to have a superpower, what would your superpower be as the creator?
Spontaneous combustion. Spontaneous combustion. Yes.
Wow. So when you get angry at somebody, pretty much just stand 12 feet back and you do your thing?
Yeah, pretty much. On a molecular level, I just and they freeze or they blow up or whatever. You pick.
So we're here with Dave, or we can call him the creator. He's one of the superheroes on the Justice for Hire app. And please don't go near him because he will combust. And I'm about to leave this interview right now because I still want to have all my molecules in check. So this is Todd from FaceTime with Todd Wharton here with Dave from Justice for Hire. All right, so we are here with Reuben, or AKA Tai Chi Wonder. He is one of the superheroes on Justice for Hire. Tai Chi Wonder, if I may call you that, sir. How do you like being a superhero right now in this amazing app that they created?
I think it's pretty cool. It definitely gives you the opportunity to bring a quality within yourself that you don't live in on an everyday basis. Give you a chance to practice that superhero sense within you to really become a better version of yourself.
I love that. So obviously, I have to assume you took Tai Chi. Is that where the whole creation of the name came out?
Yeah, I've been doing Tai Chi for about 3 to 5 years now. Been practicing martial arts for about 7 years. I traveled to China. I've been doing all sorts of martial arts from Jeet Kune Do, from Taekwondo, boxing, Jiu-Jitsu, you name it. Everything under the sun, which is the goal.
That's dope, man. So how do you like actually using this app? Do you find it very easy to use, and how they send you messages on how you're supposed to create your stuff? Tell me all about it because I think some of the fans want to know.
Bro, this app is the most simplistic, engaging. It's the next either YouTube or Instagram for the cinematic universe. If Marvel Studios wanted to hit us up, hit Jan up, that would be the best idea because this app is very applicable. Like you just get on the app, you pick a superhero you want to become, you write a small summary from it, and then from there you just start doing real cool missions. You meet up with anybody from the superhero crew, and yeah, man, you get shit going. It's really entertaining and engaging.
I love it. Now, what do you think about creating not only your own superhero, but somebody who's actually you, and you could save lives in your own universe that's actually you and not really a fictitious thing out there? Because I think we all have a superhero inside of us, and be able to actually put that out there and actually see it. How does that feel to see yourself on this thing?
I think it's amazing. You know, you get in these situations where it's like, do you really actually want to become a superhero? And you either step up to the plate or you just kind of just, you know, you just take it easy with the character. Because there's been like gang violence and it's like, I feel called to become a superhero and I have to jump in, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I have to save everybody. But yeah, I think that this app gives you the opportunity to step up as a hero or the hero that you want to become.
I love it, man. So guys, if you don't know, this is Tai Chi Wonder. He's one of the superheroes on Justice for Hire here at the event today at the Dopl store in Soho. All right, so don't get it confused right now. It is July. It's not Christmas, but I'm here with one of the superheroes of Justice for Hire. This is Sensei Claus. Sensei, how you doing, sir?
Well, first of all, it's like say that it is Fistmas year-round.
Fistmas?
Yep.
Should I say pause on that? Yes, pause. Pause on Fistmas. So tell me where you came up with this character, man. This is pretty unique.
Well, it's simple. Santa Claus gives out presents. I give out other things.
And what's that?
The gift of discipline and violence.
Discipline and violence?
Karate. You know, martial arts is just a bit of fighting with ethics and logic and fun. So that's about it.
Okay, so you're like one of those perfect parents where you give discipline and violence and you call yourself Sensei Claus. That's pretty unique, man. I need to know, but where did you come up with all this? Like, what was the inspiration behind this whole entire superhero thing you got going on?
Well, once upon a time, I was a young man that did not know martial arts. And over time, I learned, not from any one teacher, but from many who each gave me a piece of what they had. Okay. To me, this seemed like the ultimate gift, the gift of martial arts.
So are you in the South Pole now? Because obviously Santa's up in the North. And are your elves like mini like karate guys? And do you have like mini reindeer like with like karate moves? I need to know the concept. What's the background of Sensei Claus?
Well, you know, I think that you can't have reindeer for livestock anymore. There's conservationists don't like it.
Yeah, and I have to agree because I just interviewed Ingrid Newkirk from PETA, and I think she appreciates you saying that right now.
Well, I'm not up on the law, but don't get in any trouble you can't get yourself out of, kids.
Okay. Now, is there any, now obviously with Sensei Claus, at the end of your classes, I have to assume you teach people, do they get belts? Do they get some gifts? Do they get toys? Like, tell us about it. Tell us what you give.
This is the gift.
The training is the gift. You know what? Every kid would love to appreciate that. They get no toys, no food, no nothing. They get training. Because that's the gift. And that's your superhero power. Is that what I'm hearing? Discipline?
Exactly.
Okay.
Discipline, focus, and everything that comes with it.
Okay. So we're going to end on that. Now, when it comes to Sensei Claus, is discipline, focus, and everything else that comes with it. And this is Todd from FaceTime with Todd Wharton with my man Sensei Claus right here at the Dopl store in Soho. Okay, here's another interesting part of that just stopped by. This is Eli Black. Now, if you guys don't know, Eli actually controls and co-runs the Cypher down in Union Square every Friday night. How you doing, brother?
Yo, I'm good. Eli Black, representing Legendary Cyphers every Friday night, May to November, 8 p.m. to 12 a.m., Union Square Park.
I love it. Now, you got to create a character on the Justice for Hire app, and what would that character be?
So my character is actually who I am. It's the MC I am. You know what I mean? I think all my power is cerebral. It's all mental. You know what I mean? So when I start rapping, it turns into a whole spiritual experience. It turns into a whole mental experience. And it takes you to another plane, honestly. Helps you time travel, helps you be in the present. It takes you everywhere when I rap. So
you're kind of like the bars to the stars. Is that what I'm hearing? How you like that?
I'm not against that, and I don't think you went too far. You know what I mean?
Oh, I like that. The bars to the stars. We never went too far. Yeah, that's right. I'm a poet. I can know it.
He wrote my rhymes last week, but I ain't tell nobody. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's right. This is how we do in New York City. We take each other's rhymes. We write each other's rhymes. You know what I'm saying? It's the hip hop Dalmatians. You know what I'm saying? This is how we do it.
Look, man, you talking like that? You might have to pull up and spit something, man.
I did before. I actually spit something in Times Square a few years ago.
Yeah. Times Square is crazy. It gets crazy out there. There's a lot of rappers out there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, that's dope, though.
So let me ask you something, man. What was your inspiration behind creating this entire concept of the cipher? Because I think that's dope.
Well, I didn't invent it. I didn't create it. Daniel Majesty Sanchez, that's the founder, rest in peace to Majesty. He passed away in 2016, but he organized the legendary ciphers from the beginning. I was always just part of it because I knew him and the other organizers when it started. So after he passed away, myself, Mickey Hustles, More Majestic, Falaz, we just kept the movement going, kept growing with it, and now we're doing everything right now from shooting documentaries to having action figures made of ourselves. So
yeah, I love it.
We're on a run right now.
I love it. I love it. Now, speaking of action figures, what do you think about the app that my man Jan created? I think this is pretty crazy.
Yo, Jan is a genius, honestly, man. And I think similar to the cipher, what he's doing is it brings together all different kind of worlds, honestly. You know what I mean? It's genius, and I think it gives people a chance to look at themselves a little bit differently at the same time. You know what I mean? Kind of fulfill a dream that some people might have since childhood, or just waking up every day and they feel like they want to, feel good about themselves. I think that's what it helps with.
Yeah, it puts them into sort of like an ego universe where you're actually convinced and you're proud of yourself, and you're being able to help people in your own way, in your own mind, and nobody could tell you different. That's what's really cool about this universe.
Exactly, and then honestly, same thing with the rapping. This kind of thing makes me realize it's like a superpower, and I think we all have our own abilities and things like that. Whether it just be you're extra helpful towards somebody, or you got a smile that might brighten somebody's day. We all got something to us. I feel like that can aid to the world in a different way.
Yeah, because this man converses with his verses and he takes them to churches. You know what I'm saying?
Chill, you're gonna leave him in hearses.
So check it out. So guys, this is a great event right now, just for hire here at the Dopl store, but always Friday nights, Union Square, New York City. What's the time again?
8 p.m. to 12 a.m. every Friday night.
And again, you heard it from my man Eli Black, who's representing the ciphers in Union Square in New York City, so definitely go check it out. All right, so we're back here in Dopl, and I'm here with the tech advisor, Thomas Reiss. How you doing, sir?
Doing great. It's awesome being here.
Yeah, this is a great event. Now, I know you designed part of the app, but you are also a superhero. Tell me about your superhero name, how you created it, what you think of the app, and the whole event that happened today.
Well, my superhero name is just my name.
All right, so Tommy, is Jerry your sidekick? Just wanted to know.
No, he's not.
Okay.
He's not. He's my enemy.
What's your power? What's your power in this universe?
Help people with my mind. I do things virtually to help people, hacking or that type of thing.
Okay, so you're superhero Tommy. You help people with your mind. You're a hacker. But how did you come to honestly meet up with Jan and create this great app? Because I think it's an amazing community you guys are creating right now.
Well, we've known each other since college, so it's been a long time, and then we met up again at a co-working space that we were both a part of, and we rekindled our friendship, and I really liked what he was doing. I thought he had great vision in this entire endeavor, and so when he proposed that I join the fight, I absolutely did.
And it's such a great event, such a great app, and I think you guys are going to do real well. And congratulations on co-creating this app. I think it's a wonderful platform, and I think you're really going to help a lot of people get out of their comfort zone and really build confidence in who they are, because that's what I think this app's going to do overall. It's going to bring together great communities, and I think you guys you really have something here, and I wish you guys all the best and good luck with that. Guys, this is Thomas Reiss right here at the Dopl store at the Justice for Hire event here in Dopl, New York City. All right, so we're back here, and of course I have to speak to the father. This is Jan Childress. How you doing, sir?
Doing good. I'm doing great.
So if you guys don't know, so Jan, originally, you were one of the writers on Defiant with Jim Shooter, right? How did that go for you? I mean, I know.
It was great. It was a lot of fun. I mean, Jim was a great teacher, a great mentor. So it was a lot of fun. And writing comics, love it. Of course.
Yeah. Now, I'm a little confused. Now, the creator of ReelwUrld is your son, which is Janlucanis, but you're Jan Childress. Yes. So did you take your mother's maiden name, or did he take the maiden name, or he just make up some name? Because I'm trying to figure this out.
No, he took his middle name and then just lopped off the last name. Just cut it out. Just like that. Cut it out.
Did you start charging him rent when he took away the last name?
No. It took me by surprise. I'm still stunned by the whole thing.
What did he say to you about that when you brought this up to him?
He said, what?
Oh, and now he's just going to keep it? Is that how it's going to go? Yeah, well, kids don't ever do that to pops. I'm just saying right now. But let's talk about your son. Your son happens to be a really great guy. How proud are you of him in creating this world? ReelwUrld.
I'm very proud. It's wonderful to see. The best thing about it is that he's got a vision, he's got a dream, and he's pursuing it.
And I love it. Were you in support of him from day one? Because I love parents that actually do that.
Absolutely. Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Now, when he came with you with this idea, when you heard it, were you like astounded by it, like, wow, you have something here?
You know, it's that has been the experience for a number of years with each idea that he comes up with. So there have been a whole host of wow moments for me with respect to Jan.
And I'll be honest with you, when I met him, I thought he was like 25 years old, and he's telling me he's 40, so I can see where he gets the genes from, because this guy looks younger than me. Like really, because I'm an old fogey, I just am. But now that this thing is taking off, and we're here at the Dopl store, tell me honestly, what is your feelings right now that it's taking off? He's got so many great advisors on board, and he's really doing it. Like he's got a grind, and where did that grind come from?
I would say the grind came from my parents.
Okay.
Their parents imbued them with that sense of mission and effort that goes into it. And I've tried to pass it on to Jan. So fortunately, he's got his own drive, his own spirit, and as you said, he's got personality plus.
And I love it. And I love how you said that. He's got his own drive. You were there for him from day one. And even though we're here with the ReelwUrld, we're also here with the ReelWUrld with the support of this great man to his son. And that's what the world should be all about. And that's a ReelwUrld to me. This is Todd Wharton at FaceTime with Todd Wharton, talking right here with Jan Childress. So we're at this amazing event. I interviewed so many great people, but I have to interview the CEO of ReelwUrld. This is Janlucanis. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, brother. Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, and I'm so glad I remembered your name. You know, I just wanted to tell you that. But yeah, I know, I try it. But I got to tell you something, man. The app that you guys created, okay? Justice for Hire, first of all, this event, amazing event. I love the creativity of the event. And the best part about this whole community, it's a community. All right, and you're bringing together amazing minds from celebrities to unknowns, where everybody in the end could be a superhero, but you're also building confidence in people. You're bringing diversity back together as a whole and creating a universe, of cinematic universe, where we can all be our own rights as superhero. What was your inspiration behind this whole entire company?
You know, there's a lot of whys, and I say there's never one why. You know, I grew up as a kid with my dad as a comic writer and critic at Marvel, and just watching the folks at Marvel like managing thousands of heroes, which has essentially become, you know, the cinematic universe model that we all love today with the Marvel movies and, you know, DC, etc. But I think really it's, you know, my dad wrote a Silver Surfer novel, and it's his favorite character, and there was a bunch of challenges of that getting published, like inside Marvel, and you know, issues with him introducing new characters in the book that weren't in the Marvel universe, etc. And I just remember my dad, like, it's his favorite character, and like suffering, you know, watching him, something he worked on for years in my childhood, you know, to the point where it didn't get published, and I, at 11 years old, like boycotted Marvel. And I just remember that feeling of anybody and everybody should be able to contribute to a story, their favorite stories. And these worlds should be open for all of us. And that just stayed with me for years. It just was always on my mind. And so that's a major why of many whys.
Yeah, and I love that. Now, I have to ask you something. Do you feel that these cinematic universes, being heroes, do you think this plays a major role that what could be if the real world, quote unquote, was actually like that? Because I think I loved your name, The Real World, with you, by the way, if you guys don't know. Because the world today is different. It's crazy, it's chaotic, and people are being separated again. And I feel your app is what is bringing people together. Do you feel that the superhero world actually can bring back the dreamers that, hey, this world can exist, that we can all cohesively exist together if we're all part of the same great community? Is that a vision that you saw with this app as well?
I mean, you couldn't have said it better. It's exactly that. You know, all of us working together toward a shared goal is what we need in society. And so if we need to use our entertainment to achieve that sense of community and then hopefully be able to take that same sense and bring it into our real lives, that's the biggest win we could ask for.
And I love the fact also that a lot of the co-signers who have promoted this app are major players in the game. I mean, you got people from Star Wars and Marvel and Legion and I believe Sony and your team as well. I spoke to Thomas, great guy. I believe you guys met in college. Spoke to your CTO, I spoke to your co-founder. I spoke to so many great people here and they all had nothing but great things to say about you. How did you come about choosing this great team that you have on board right now?
Honestly, a lot has just been put in the path at this point. There's been a lot of challenges, and to finally find people that resonate with what we're doing, to the extent of like, hey, I'm willing to put time in to help build this. That's who's come on board. Those are the people you've seen today, and you know, the advisory board. They've been watching me pitch this in Hollywood for years, and have studios say maybe not now, or the startup ecosystem in New York, and people not getting it. Yeah. And so we just had to build it, and I needed people to help me build, and these are the folks that came.
Yeah, and I love it. Now, I did watch all the videos online, a lot of the promos, and I was speaking to your CTO, and we definitely want to be clear with everybody because people love the app, but we want to make sure that they understand exactly what this is. Now, in order to become a superhero, create a superhero, be part of the universe, you have to go to justiceforhire.com, correct?
.com or justiceforhire.app is the app itself. So you don't need to go to the App Store on iPhone or on Android, and you go right to justiceforhire.app, and you can download the app right there if you'd like, or you can use it right in your web browser. And we recommend doing it on the phone, and you are injected into the story the second you get there. You'll know exactly what I mean the second you get there.
Yeah, and the parent company is The Real World, which is what you founded, amazing company. And people that I also spoke to, again, said the app was so simple to use, and they love to use it. And the best part, it's not even just about the app. You have meetups. That's really cool. Like, not only could you become a character and a hero, you get to meet with your co-heroes in the shows and create this great community like we spoke about. What was the value that you saw behind that? I know the value, but what was the inspiration behind creating that sort of community where you actually wanted them to meet instead of it just being virtual?
So I was a part of the first high school program for New York Film Academy. And the first thing I took away was that you might make bad films, but the good memories stay. And just being able to come together with people and create with a camera, get in front of the camera, be behind the camera, you'll remember that, hey, that day that we took that shot, it rained. Oh, that was funny. We had to go and hide under a tree until it stopped raining so we can get that shot. You know, whatever the memory is, you have memories when you're on set creating together. Right. And those memories are sometimes stronger than the films, oftentimes stronger than the films. Mm-hmm. And so sharing that in-person experience is absolutely number one, and that's something that a lot of folks in the tech side didn't necessarily get at first, where it was like, oh, okay, well, hold on, like, well, why don't you just make the app this or that and do something digital and everyone can come together. That digital is so important, But being able to come together in person and to have ideas and share them with somebody looking eye to eye is the most important thing. And as we do that in small little groups across the nation, because we're worldwide right now, and over time, as we produce these shows and movies together, we're going to have nationwide meetups. We're going to have worldwide meetups. We're going to be creating scenes with masses of people. So it's just a matter of building the behavior, building the community that loves it, and that's what we're doing today here at Dopl.
Yeah, and I got to tell you something. First of all, congratulations on Just for Hire. For the main reason is, if I got this correct, I believe you guys had close to 7-point-something million views. You have 77,000 and growing TikTok, I believe 5,000 comments, the whole nine. So it's growing exponentially, like considerably crazy. But there's also an investment involved for your subscribers. Tell me about that.
Oh yeah, so anybody can own part of the company right now on wefunder.com/ReelWurld, and that's ReelWurld because you're in it. And we're all about community ownership first and foremost. And this is an opportunity. There's a 30% discount right now for early bird investors to come on and to own part of the company and help us build out our technology, our community, our more content. We built a social network with guidance to help people tell stories and connect their stories to other people. And it's the fuel coming from the community, the investment and ownership of the community is the major thing we want.
And that's great. And then we also got to explain that it's not a streaming platform, but to compare it, and the way I like to compare it, if I got this right, when you go to Disney, you see all the great shows. You see Marvel, Star Wars, the whole nine, and you get to watch them. Now in Just for Hire, I believe it's the same type of concept, except the subscribers are actually the creators of these series. Is that how I got it in layman's terms? Does that sound about right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll say this right now: there's no cost to join Justice for Hire. So if you want to be part of the cast, you just join. And yes, it's just there'll be a point in the future where kids will say, "What do you mean I can't be in this movie or show?" Like, that is the future of filmmaking. Like, we're all going to be making movies and shows together. So yes, the platform we're building, you can look at any streaming platform right now as one-dimensional. You are the audience. There's no way for you to get through that screen. Right. If you go to justiceforhire.app, you have a bridge into that story world, into the cinematic universe. You are now a part of the movie. It is your character. It's your story. And you can also just sit back and watch and have fun. But it's more fun to join. Like Joseph Gordon-Levitt says, shout out to Hit Record.
I love it. And I think we're going to end on that. I mean, again, congratulations. It's an amazing app. Great community. Great event today, by the way. And congratulations on all the success, all the advisors that you have on, because you have an incredible team on board. And I really, truly think that this is definitely something for the future. I think the cinematic universe is going to appreciate you for this. And not only the celebrities, because I'm already seeing celebrities sign on, I think people around the world are looking for that hub where they can be themselves and be the superhero to the world that they always wanted to be. And Just for Hire has definitely created that. So guys, I'm here with the CEO of ReelwUrld, my man Jan. Right here, we're at the Dopl store in Soho at the Just for Hire event in New York City. So that's a wrap here at the Soho store called Dopl in New York City for the Justice for Hire event. And it's founded again by the ReelwUrld. Now guys, take it from me, if you're a superhero inside, you want to become more confident, more known, and just have a good time and meet a great community, definitely check this app out. Go to justiceforhire.com, sign up, create your character, and you know what? Have some fun, because I guarantee that this is the future of cinematic film. This is Todd Wharton, the FaceTime with Todd Wharton, right here again at the Dopl store, Soho, New York City. Tell me about this character that you're playing right now. I think it's, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. Do you know where the bathroom is?
Bathroom? I don't look like no... Listen, I'm a talk show host. Do I look like a gent? Do I look like I have toilet paper? Yeah, I'm a talk show host. Like, all right, so the bathroom is down the hall to the right, and make sure you wash your hands, okay? Because, you know...
Oh, come on. I learned that a long time ago.
All right. Not a problem, not a problem. Well, I hope everything comes out well. Nice to see you. Thank you.